welcome to the third episode of our Eberron campaign. Woo-wee! Super exciting. I'm wicked stoked to see what's going to happen because you know what? Things are, things are getting interesting, aren't they? Aren't they?
Totally.
Thus far, we found out that Ollie wears dresses and doesn't like to climb buildings in them.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, can't really argue that happened.
That's pretty much the sum up of
we
what
can
happened,
pretend
right?
that it was for the honor of Odette, but we all know it's because Stalboy is also in a dress.
All right, so as we chomp away at food, my apologies. The Roll For It one went a smidge late today, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun. I hope you caught me over at Roll For It. My cosplay was on fleek. Yeah. I'm saying
Really?
That's what I said.
Don't
on
say that.
fleek. Yep. No, my cosplay on fleek. Right? Am I saying that right?
Right.
In fleek, around
No,
fleek.
just don't even
Through
say
fleek.
the word
No,
fleek.
Please stop.
We're
He's
wasting.
gone so far, it's got funny again. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You just did to Fleek what Hillary did to Davin.
All right. So, what was I going to say? Well, let's not waste any time today because it is somebody's birthday this weekend, and they have to go get some handsy friends. Every time I say, "Hey, where are your friends from?" she always goes like this. So I just assume that's like a child signaling for help with their teacher. So why don't we just get right into this? What happened last week was you guys had to finish up combat. The real fighter totally got pwned. Really?
Did plenty of poning myself.
I mean, are you sure?
I'm sure I did plenty of poning.
I mean, are you sure? Because I saw you lying on the ground bleeding. So the real fighter
That's
got
what I
pwned.
remember.
Odette had to go and clean up the battlefield and do all the work for everybody else, of course. And then you guys went to go meet up with, after you grabbed your gear and whatnot, you went to go re-meet up with Dane. You were not allowed into the place, robbed from a kid, chased the kid. The kid was actually supposed to discreetly lead you to Dane. That sounds ridiculous. And then he brought you, wanted you to climb up, whatever. So two of you went and you'd seen Dane, two of you did not, and that caused you to get caught by guards, and now they're literally bringing you around to the front door to be like, yo, what up? So if I remember correctly, we have Luca is still inside Dane's room with him. Is this an appropriate brown chicken brown? No, we'll leave it alone. Luca is inside Dane's room with him and is trying to help him pack to get ready in time. And we have Reich is downstairs trying to warn them, like, don't go up there or stop them or whatever it is that they're trying to do. Apparently he doesn't want to get seen for one reason or another, whatever the case may be. And the other two of you are just kind of, we'll go with the guard. Because, climbing is too difficult for you or something. Am I doing correct interpretations of the characters?
Pretty
On
much.
spot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ollie, am I doing a correct interpretation?
This is the serious political intrigue campaign, right? Yeah. I sure did it for the right one.
Yes, you did.
That's Elvish, actually.
That's Swedish, actually.
Wow, that's racist. So,
The Swedish chef in the Muppets. That's what you were doing.
so you guys, it was Beaker, actually. No, so you guys are walking in. The guard is knocking on the door, and the door is being opened up. I can't remember the exact words I said last week, but it was somewhere along the lines of, what? Somewhere along the lines of that, of the person opening the door because you had annoyed him from before. And Reich, you were literally seeing this. Let's see what those rolls were last session. It looks like people were playing with potions. A lot of potions. And whatnot.
Yeah.
What the hell is all of this? This looks
We
like
gotta practice.
No, this looks like when I was doing my tests. Oh.
We made macros.
That's exactly what it was. We made macros.
No, I
It
made...
might be that.
Wait, we made macros after last session? I thought
Yeah.
you did before last session.
No, it was after last
No.
session. It's all
Yeah.
macro stuff, so good luck finding anything on there.
I can find it. I can... Wait, there's a...
Well, I remember I got a pretty good persuasion roll to convince the guard that we weren't breaking in.
That didn't happen.
But even then, it was so ridiculous, he still needed to check.
That didn't happen.
Which is understandable,
Didn't happen.
honestly.
Nope, didn't happen. Don't believe you. Let's see. Unlock, blah, blah,
Got like
blah.
a 17!
I want to
I'm
see what
level
your
2.
rolls were. There we go. So last thing I see is Reich doing Flurry of Blows, because wow, it literally is all macro stuff. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap. This is just me making macros like crazy.
Yeah, that's like all you did after the stream.
Okay, nope, it's gone. They're gone officially. Oh well. So we're gonna say that Reich made a pretty good. Reich, make me a stealth check now. But because I screwed up, you're welcome to make that stealth check with advantage, sir. With advantage. A DM give me.
I need it. I'm a little dexterous, but I'm not exactly stealthy.
I mean, that's pretty stealthy.
That was
Say what you
almost
want.
disastrous.
That was that is an amazing roll right there. You see that? Holy crap! For some reason, it didn't appear on my map over here. That's not good. Why did you not appear over? So now it is appearing on this map in case it needs to be seen. So a 19 and a 1, you get the total of a 21. That's awesome. You do in fact see. Bam. Just taking care of stuff. So you do in fact see, you sneak around the corner. The guard does not notice you whatsoever, just as he didn't before when you were up on the ledge holding the rope. Now he doesn't notice you as you're sneaking around the corner, and you see them kind of like knocking on the door, and the person opens up the door. So when he opens up the door and he's like, "What?" The guard's like, excuse me, these two said that they needed to speak with somebody that's inside, and that you were not allowing him to do so." And he's like, yeah, the person that they're trying to speak to is not here. He's like, they insist that he is, and that you're just not allowing him to do so. Really, I don't mean to get in the way of you and your duties, but the person they're trying to speak to isn't here. We are not a tavern or an inn, as you very well know, and we certainly don't keep anybody in any rooms up above. It's just a playhouse. However, if it would placate you, I'd be more than happy to allow you in to take care of this. And he, nods to that and kind of like ushers you two in.
All right.
Reich, what
Absolutely.
do you do?
Well, did I see this exchange occur? Do I know? Okay, knowing this, then I'm just gonna stay hidden, because I imagine this giant hobgoblin who has apparently broken into this place would not go over well. So I'm gonna wait for them to get past, and then, or actually, where? Yeah, I'm gonna wait for them to go past, and then I'm gonna try to sneak out of the building. Because as I understand it, this guy didn't want to get spotted either. The guy who we were with.
Mm-hmm. So you wait until they walk into the door, and as they walk into the door, you make your way back away from it, or you're gonna go to the front of the building because you're kind of around the side. Remember, it's a tower, so it's cylindrical, but you were like around the edge and looking past like some whatever was on the road there, cart or otherwise.
I'm just gonna stay out here because he was trying to leave anyways. So.
Okay. So you're literally just going to continue staying there and keeping watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure nothing else goes wrong.
All right, then we're going to pull the camera over to Odette and Stallbor. What do you guys do as you go inside and the person starts to walk you around the entire facility, room by room, to show you that there's nobody there?
Could I make... I guess investigation insinuates that I'm like actually checking, so I guess it would be perception to look around to see if there is any, obvious signs of where the hotel-ish rooms would be hidden away.
Can I attempt to make some kind of intelligence check to discern where that balcony area would lead to inside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're going to do, because there is no longer an architecture and engineering role, we're going to do, what do we want to say, a history check, I suppose, but because you guys aren't dwarves or know anything about architecture and engineering, you're going to take a... No, you know what? We're going to do an insight on this one, because it's literally just kind of making a judgment call. But we're going to take a disadvantage on it, and you both may roll it.
Okay.
Wow, with a 16, Ollie. So I know it was originally Aaron's idea, but obviously both your characters were doing it because you were trying to say something similar. With a 4, you believe you know which way to go, Odette, and so you start being like, I think it's this way, whispering or however you want to role play it over to what's his name there?
But we could be honestly just be.
We could just be talking
I could just
about
be casting message over and over.
Oh, okay,
Sure.
If we want to be stealthy about it, but I guess we don't.
It's not super stealthy because it is still a whispered conversation. It's just one that nobody else can hear. However, Stalbor is almost positive he knows exactly which way to go. As a matter of fact, could you roll me one more insight check, Aaron, but with no disadvantage?
Okay.
See if I can point you in the right direction. No.
You think
No.
you adamantly think that he's wrong. You're pretty positive it's the other way.
Why would an elf know anything about architecture?
Exactly.
Of an elven family.
Like, listen, I've been here before. Not inside the building, but I know the area. I think it's this way.
How many years have you spent inside towers?
Hmm.
I think I have 200 more years inside towers than you do.
That's absurd. How long have you been in Sharn? How many years have you been in Sharn?
That's neither here
How
nor
many
there.
years
I
have you
know
been in
where the
Corvair?
balcony is. That's neither here or there or anywhere.
I would love
We'll
the
call
opportunity
that.
to prove you wrong.
Well, then you must come with me to prove me wrong.
Of course.
And then we have to shake away the guard and the... Oh, are we just wandering?
So
We're not.
the guard is stops to watch this exchange, kind of like you guys slowing down and having this conversation, whispering back and forth, and he stops to watch you guys have your exchange. And once it seems you're satisfied and you're done just talking to one another, he then is going to turn to look at you guys and be like, "Are you done?" And then the person that's supposed to be guiding you along continued talking and guiding and got like a solid like 20 feet ahead of you guys, 25 feet ahead of you, before he noticed that you were no longer following him. And then was just looking back at you with like disgust, like one of those. Because you're dragging and making his day even more difficult. So you guys are, he says to you, the guard says to you, "Are you done?"
I believe we can find our way to our mutual friend here without the assistance. But thank you exceedingly for your help.
You're not going anywhere without me inside of my establishment. Be happy that I haven't called alarm for others. He says to you, obviously not directing it at the guard whatsoever. You know what I mean? And it's very, very poignant.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? So, yeah, you, so with that, the guard's like, "Then lead the way if you can make this, lead the way if you think this is going to make it any quicker." And so you guys he starts following you to go the way that you think you're going. So with your insight check of 16, you actually do make it there where you believe is there pretty quickly, and eventually get to an area that looks like more comfortable rooms. When you open one, you see a very comfortable room, but it's empty. And the guard looks to the elf that's with you guys, the other elf that's with you guys, and kind of like, "What is this?" And he's like, "This is not a hotel. This is a place where some of the house members live. We are a family. This is if our guests are staying, our guests being cousins, siblings, and stuff like that. We are by no means a hotel. As I'm sure some of you might understand this way of life," looking directly at Odette.
I'll just kind of like give a dismissive shrug.
And the
Dismissive is the right phrase for, I think, the emotions right now.
The guard turns to the two of you and he's like, "Do you think you're mistaken?"
I
It's
rarely
quite
think I'm
possible.
mistaken.
That we are mistaken. Perhaps he is not here, as we thought.
So we will check a few more rooms then, and
There is a simple solution to this. And if this is a similar room, so does this room have a balcony?
so you go over to the edge and you open up to like where the windows are and whatnot, and there does not seem to be a balcony there.
Well, can I just like poke my head out the window and look for a balcony with a rope hanging down from it?
Make me a perception check.
It might be on the other side of the tower, of course, but... Oh, sorry. Do you want me to re-roll that or take the 12?
If you want to know anything, re-roll it, please. And if you want to know anything about the characters, feel free to scroll down if you're on a desktop format or laptop format, and you can actually see all the character links down below as to where everything is. Or I believe it's this, bam, is also how you can get the link of information about the characters.
Yeah.
16 perception. You poke your head out the window with your night vision. You're able to easily look around, and see where the rope is. It seems as though it's around the corner slightly and up some, so perhaps continue down the hall a little further.
I point this out to Odette first, but I don't even like whisper this. I'm like, "Oh yes, the room should be like that. I say it loud enough that the other two can clearly hear, and then try to lead that way. And briefly check down like other corridors in case it's like a weird secret side passage, which it probably is. But yeah, try and make my way there.
Awesome.
Sort of reverse engineering.
Openly gloat about him being wrong, but I will give him like I knew you were wrong look.
Awesome.
This clearly isn't the right room.
So as you guys continue down that path, mind you, you do notice that Ollie or Stalbor is getting you to where that room is, and very, very much the opposite direction of where you want it to go. Whether or not either of you point that out, up to you. But you know. So now when you
it's a single town.
Now when you guys are continuing on, let's pull the camera over to Luca. So, Luca, you're in there, and he is frantically trying to throw stuff inside these different suitcases and whatnot, and you are assisting with one chest and getting all the stuff inside there. Could you do me a favor? I know you're not being frantic by any means, but are you actively trying to be assisting, or are you just being like, I'm just going to lazily help because, I'm here?
So, how I imagine it is, like, he's, like, frantically putting things in cases, and he's, like, handing me something, like, put this in there, and this, and I'm just, like, standing there with my arms, it just keeps piling up of me not really, still trying to assess the situation.
Listen, you don't understand. You messed everything up. You messed everything up by bringing them here. We have to go, you don't understand.
I just dropped the pile of stuff I was holding. I just drop it, and I'm just like, what's the deal with you and the guard?
It has nothing to do with the guard. You're a fucking idiot. And then he goes and he makes his way, kicks open the door, grabbing just like one suitcase with him of the things that he feels are important. Makes his way over to the balcony, and as he goes over to the balcony, he stops for a second and like twists a ring that's on his finger for a moment, picks up the thing, and jumps off the balcony.
I guess I go running over to the balcony and look over the edge.
You see him land softly on the ground below.
I'm not gonna like chase after him. I'm just gonna kind of be like, what the fuck? And do I hear them in the hallway, like when Stalbor is talking very loudly or anything? Do I notice any of that?
I am talking very loudly. I think the room is in this direction, sort of.
You will eventually, but at this point in time, no, not quite just yet.
All right, so if I don't hear anything outside, I guess I'm just gonna take a look over some of the stuff that he's left behind, just looking to see if I notice it, like
clothing, stuff like that.
Yeah, is it just clothing and stuff? Mm-hmm. I guess I'll go back to the balcony and peek my head out, and I'm just gonna.
To be clear, it's not just like, oh, it's a t-shirt. It's very, very ornate clothing that has like gems and stuff like that on it, and like sewn into it. Like this is elegant stuff that is valuable, but it's clothing.
Right. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so it's just, but being clothing, I'm gonna just like, okay, there's no clue as to where this guy could have gone. You know what I mean? Other than he said he was going to the rail. Don't know where on the rail. Mm-hmm. So I guess I go back out to the balcony and kind of like like that loud whisper, like, hey. Like, you don't want to yell, but you want to. I'm just gonna yell out Reich. I'm just like, Reich.
So Reich, can you roll me a perception check really quickly before he does that, please and thank you?
Yep. Back to normal.
3 different levels of DCs here.
Perception.
I got thrown across the screen. A 12.
Not too bad.
So you don't notice him jump off the balcony, but you notice when he lands on the ground below because he puts down his suitcase that he has with him on the ground loud enough that you hear it and you can turn around and see him standing there on the ground next to you at the bottom of the rope, and you're kind of surprised that you didn't hear him hustling down the rope with that large suitcase.
I just look over at him and I say, what's your plan? Where are you going?
Your friend up there is... We need to go. We need to head to the lightning rail. We need to get out of here.
If we do, will you give us answers?
I will give you answers, definitely, but we need to go. We're wasting time. Oh, God, the others are coming, and I don't even know, and they're going to find so much. Oh, my God. Let's just, can you leave word for them? Can you leave a message? Do you have that kind of magic?
I look at him with my sword strapped to my back, a bow strapped to me. I just look at him with dead eyes and say, no.
Well, leave a message for them so they can come meet up with us, and let's go. We need to go. And he looks up at Luca, and he's like, hey, let's go. As Luke is like looking down the ledge and he's about to call out to Reich or whatever, he notices the exchange and he looks up and does that.
Yeah, I look at Luca and I just kind of motion him down once, and then I almost like stay on my eyes stay on him for a moment, looking at the rope, and I'm like, oh god, this is not going to be pretty. And then I don't know. I don't think I even have paper on me. I'm a monk. I don't need paper. None of this fancy writing for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Luca to come down. Hopefully. I look at him and I say, "If you'll go to the rail, I'll meet you there. I'm waiting for my friends."
Luca, do you what do you do?
Yeah, I climb. How high up is this? Would you say the balcony?
I mean, it's I described it before. I believe I said 20 feet.
20 feet. Yeah, I'll climb down the rope.
Okay. So make me an athletics check. It's not a high DC.
Yeah, sure.
That's a beautiful athletics check. You come swinging down that rope like Riddick in the Chronicles of. Oh my god.
Yeah, I land there and look up at Reich and say, "What's going on with this guy?"
I don't know. I look back at him. Is he gone already?
No, he's there like over at the edge, looking around the corner, and he's like, "We gotta go."
I look at him. I look back at you, and then I say, "He wants to leave now. He says to leave a message for the others. Do you have paper?"
I don't have paper, nor.
Actually, you do have paper because you're the one that keeps the journal that you can find in the link down below.
Yep. You're right. I have paper, but I guess I'll say I don't have paper, nor do I know how we can leave now and leave a message. How can we do both?
You're kidding me, right? Oh my god, you were. And he walks over and he's like, "Give me the paper."
I don't give him the paper.
I don't even know. And at this point in time, you guys come walking into a room and you see a mess. There's clothing everywhere. There's like a chest flipped over. There's a big, somewhat neatly piled, they're not clothed, they're not folded, but a huge pile of stuff just kind of like in one lumped area versus the other stuff that's strewn about where, Luca had just dropped it on the ground. And you walk in to see just this mess everywhere. It is very obviously the room that the two of you were looking for. What do you do?
Oh no, it seems that something has happened. And then just make a very...
My friend!
Look to the, steward.
Tavern. Perhaps we've caught our friend at a bad time.
Yes, I believe so.
Thank you for your assistance, I say to the guard and the other gentleman.
The guard is looking at the stuff that's on the floor, looking at this mess and everything, and he's kind of like, "Do you have an explanation for this?" To the person that was kind of guiding you guys around and hoping that you wouldn't come stumbling into this room, and he's like, apparently one of our family members got a little drunk. I can't control when people get drunk or stay sober. I'm not entirely sure whose room this is. I don't have that information on hand." And the guard's either way, there seems to be something that's happened here. I need to look around this room. And the first place he immediately goes to, and I imagine Stalboy was doing the same thing, is to the balcony.
Balcony, yep.
Luca and Reich, make me perception checks.
Yep.
A little bit of perception. No, damn it. That was, Jesus Christ.
What
Performance and double. Okay, so you got the 19. So you got a 19 and a 21. You guys easily hear this. You guys easily hear a conversation overhead. You cannot make out any of the words, but you hear that there's voices inside there, and you're aware of it. He doesn't seem to be aware of it. He just seems to be like, "You're an idiot" to Luca.
I want to just duck under the balcony, just kind of scoop up against the wall and listen to see if I hear anything specific.
Mm-hmm. At his prompting, I'm gonna go around the side of the building. I'm gonna grab the guy gruffly without any notice and just drag him with me so he's out of sight.
So you grab him and you drag him more or less around the corner to where the front door is to make sure that you're out of sight of the area so that when they look over the balcony. So you guys do that quickly. You do that quickly. Luca, what do you do? Just stand there and go, "I did bet."
No, like I duck under the balcony, like up against the building, and just kind of wait to listen to the conversation above.
Yeah, he wants to stay like out of sight, but
Yeah,
close enough.
out of sight under the balcony, but close enough where I could still hear them.
Stalboard, were you trying to describe to me before that you were heading out to the balcony? Is that what you were saying before I cut you off?
I was actually like, because it was like, oh, as soon as we get a little drunk, he went over to like the pipe thing. You said he had like a large smoking apparatus. It's like, but then Odette went to the balcony, so he would follow afterwards.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's where you're heading towards, and he follows. So you guys go out there. Could you roll me perception checks really quickly? Luca, could you roll me a stealth check? But Luca, you do have an advantage because you're completely out of sight, and there's a good gap of space between you guys, and it's nighttime.
Nice.
Nice.
Damn,
so you guys walk out there?
Shit.
And they're looking around. The guard immediately goes over to the rope that's tied off there, and is like, "Well, this is definitely the balcony that's in question." And Ollie kind of goes over and checks it out as well. And as he's looking at it, he kind of like leans down, and he happens to see Luca. And we'll say Luca, who's looking up. Ollie and Luca meet eyes with one another as they see each other. Luca kind of standing there, and do you gesture in any way, Luca? Do you do anything, or do you like motionlessly stay still? As
I'm
you
just
hear
like
that other voice.
I motionlessly I am just still as I hear the voice. I hope that he looks at me, and I'm just kind of like the subtlest of like head shakes, just like it's so subtle that you wouldn't pick up on. I'm just like, no.
I got a 20. I pick up on it.
Yeah, you see it. You see it. I don't know if you understand the social cue behind it, but you see it.
Well, it seems that our friend is not here.
Yes, that is.
Gone through all this effort for nothing. It really is a metaphor for life itself.
This is definitely not for nothing. What I'm going to have to do right now is have the guards come and investigate this room. Things seems to be a little strange. At the very least, we have two people that were breaking and entering and were caught coming back down from doing a robbery. And what's missing from this room and the reason why it's tossed is because the two of you have stolen things. So I would like to take a statement from the two of you, and we're going to have the room investigated. There are no charges being pressed at this point in time, but I would like to have the two of you stay with me for a little while and work through this procedure.
Guys, it's everyone. Knock him out. There won't be any consequences.
Well, absolutely, my friend.
Said
fully
only
willing to
Mathis
cooperate.
ever. What?
Of course, we are fully willing to cooperate.
We're just
However,
both like, yeah.
You
Sure, we'll
understand
do
I
this.
will have to send word to my house regarding
I
this
don't have
matter.
a house.
If you need to send word, then you're welcome to do so. I can have one of the other guards, when they show up, get a messenger boy for you. I understand that there are certain matters in place. And he actually, the way he says it, without even rolling an insight or anything, because you fail at them, you can instantly tell that he's one of those guards that just understands the politics and just kind of like, yeah, I get it. Like you think you're somebody and your family's going to come involved, and I'm fine with that. And so from that point, he definitely intends to keep you guys there for a while and get like statements of what's happening and have a few guards like investigating this room.
Jesus Christ.
And it's going to be a considerable amount of time. Luca, what are you doing?
So, I'm still staying still up against the building, but I hear this and my eyes kind of just like widen, like, oh fuck, just like, I'm honestly weighing. I'm still staying there for several minutes, weighing my options of, do I cause a distraction? Do I do this? So I'd say honestly, it takes me several minutes trying to decide what to do.
If it makes
kind
you
of freezing.
It makes you any easier for what decision you eventually come to. There's you play your character the way you want to. However, being a member of House Deneath, that is the house of law. Like it is, everybody's their own person, right? But that house is known to be lawful, neutral. They're raised in a very strictly regimented militaristic society, and then you're also like, not only is your family that way, but beyond that, you're in a country that is very, very, very much that way. Maybe a little more lenient evil. Anyways, so you would probably want to adhere to, obviously you're not going to present yourself or whatever, but you would want to like adhere to the law. Like they're being questioned, they're innocent, so the law should work out in their favor, as opposed to make a distraction and we'll all run for it. You know what I mean? Right. But again, it's your character. Do what you like.
Yeah, so I'd say several minutes go by. I'm not sure if anything else happens while I'm kind of just like mulling these ideas over. And then I just try to walk nonchalantly around the corner. I just like I stop freezing up and I try to just walk from under the balcony, like as if I was walking out of the alleyway to the street where I saw Reich go.
Awesome.
Alright.
So you go nonchalantly walking that way. Luckily, the guard had already walked inside and he's having that conversation with the rest of them. He doesn't notice you at all. Stalbor, only because you rolled that natural 20 last time, I'll allow you to roll a perception check one more time to see if you notice this. And you got another 20. You do notice him nonchalantly making his way out. And
Hands in his pockets and everything.
So yeah, exactly. Spinning your watch. Make your way out to the alleyway where you have Reich and the other guy off to the side, and the guy's like freaking out. Like he is visibly cold sweats in your fist holding him by his tunic or whatever. Reich, he is visibly like concerned and like we need to go. We're literally hiding by the front door of this place.
I look at him. I look at Luca and I say, "How long do you think?"
It's gonna be a while. The guard thinks that they are trespassers who are trying to rob him, and I just point at him, kind of like.
I look at the guy who I'm like currently grabbing onto, and I say to him, "Is there somewhere we can meet?"
Meet? Yeah, we need to go to the lightning rail.
No, you need to sort this out.
What? You don't understand. I don't think
they think our friends were robbing you, and they are going to be held by the court of law. You need to sort this out.
How do you expect me to do that?
I look at. I
show
look
your
at
face. Yep.
I look at Luca and I say, "There's more to this, and I'm not willing yet to turn him over to the guards. I want to know I want to know how you found out about what happened today, and I intend to find out. So you're going to tell me a place that we can meet, and then after you've told me this, we're going to let you go."
Okay. Well, I will gladly tell you everything you need to know. I'm sure they'll be fine. I actually don't want them to take the fall. I could just throw money at you and say, screw them, leave them here, and we can go off into the sunset together. But I hired you guys for a reason. I don't think you get this. I want them to come out fine. Odette's family is going to protect her. They have nothing on her. There's literally nothing on her. She's easily going to get them out. And because of that, she's going to defend Stalbor, and I'm sure they'll throw coins to make sure Stalbor gets out as well. All right? You guys will be fine. Just listen. We really, really need to go. The fact that there's a guard in there means there's probably people watching us right now. They are aware of the fact that you have me now. Now, let's go.
I say I'm not willing to go to the rail.
He's like,
everything in my body's.
Then I'll do it on my own. And he turns and he like smacks away Reich's hand and he starts trying to make his way out of there.
I look at Luca and I say, if he goes, we may lose him forever.
I nod to that and say,
Could you citizens arrest him, Luca? And bring him to the guard?
I totally could.
I don't think we should do that.
I feel like he might have some kind of more magic shenanigans, though. That might just be bad.
I don't
but
think
if you make
I
enough
would.
of a scene.
I think I could, but I wouldn't. But I'll look at Reich and say, he is right. We probably should get out of here, but not far. We should just wait for them.
I agree. We'll follow him to the rail. We'll get our answers, and then we'll get our friends. Oh, and then we'll get our companions. You ain't my friends.
I nod to that, and I want to just follow him, but hopefully he doesn't pick up that we're following him.
Okay, then you guys are gonna have to roll stealthy checks to do so. He's actually a little frantic at the moment, so it's very obvious he's distracted. You roll normal stealthy, but it's clear that he's not going to be. It should be an easier task than you would normally expect.
Sure.
If you could go ahead and chill the hell out, that'd be great.
All right. Well, you guys are actually. He doesn't seem to notice you as you're following him, and he's trying to make his way over to the lightning rail. He does move in quick bursts where he tries to move very hurriedly around corners and is going down alleyways and whatnot. One of the things that you guys do notice is that sometimes he'll walk down an alleyway and you guys will go down the alleyway as well, and you'll be like, what the hell? He just went down here and it's not there. And you guys kind of like rush to the end, and you'll be like, wait, where did he go? So like literally, you come to an alleyway and it's a dead end, and he's not there. What do you do?
I look at Reich and say, he
I
must
swear-
be magic.
I swear in Goblin.
I don't
look up.
understand it.
What does
I
that
look
sound
up.
like?
Yeah, what does that sound like? I could have lived without that.
I wasn't preparing to do that. I was put on the spot.
It could get worse. I make my goblins sound like Gungans, so...
Oh god.
Jesus Christ,
Um,
please,
guys, house rule. Ollie is never allowed to play a goblin ever,
Yep.
ever. And considering I just played with Enter Elysium for a while, and the way that I think it's just Brits in general, their perception of goblins is horrifying, and they should never be allowed to do it. So,
Because we basically are goblins.
well, I wasn't gonna say it.
We don't like the sun.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you know, it's true. Yep,
Yeah,
Brits are
that's
no, I'm just kidding. All right, so you try to follow him. You come to that dead ends, and you cuss out in Goblin. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say he must be using magics. He seemed very paranoid.
Well, can I see him? Did he climb up the building?
You don't see it. I mean, you don't see him. It's a dead end, and he's not there.
I walk up and touch the wall of the dead end.
Sure, make me an investigation check, please.
Investigate.
You go up and you try to examine the wall and everything, and it seems
It's a
to be-
wall.
Yeah, it's a wall. I mean, nothing's there.
I look at Luca and I say, I didn't see him climb.
Yeah, like I said, magics of some sort. I think we've lost his trail.
Unfortunate.
Um,
Well then, perhaps you should.
Oh, and then I let you finish your sentence.
I was gonna say perhaps we should go back. And check
Yeah,
on it.
perhaps we should go back and see what the scene looks like. If things seem to be a little sketchy still, maybe we just get a seat at a tavern and watch if there's anything nearby.
You guys swing by there. You notice nothing worth noting. There are more guards there. They're investigating and whatnot. You do grab that seat at the tavern, allow time to pass. Odette and Stallbor, you guys are investigated where I imagine you're just completely forefront with the information you're willing to give, which is we have a friend. We knew he was up here. We were trying to see him. They wouldn't let us in, so we tried to go in this way. More or less sticking to your story? Or are you divulging more information than you otherwise would have?
Actually,
That's-
I probably wouldn't say much of anything until I got back from my house.
I
stay
was
quiet.
actually saying everything.
Okay, so
Not
Stallbor is...
everything, but basically all that you said. The story I
Mhm.
elaborated on beforehand, that's sort of true-ish, but it's not directly lying.
Gotcha. So Stallbor is sticking to the story, and Odette is more or less like, lawyer, please.
Yep.
Lawyer, please. Lawyer, please.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Odette? Don't you trust the good guards of Shan to do their due process?
Before she even
Of
answers,
course.
the guard that had caught you people beforehand was just like, this is not abnormal. He waves it away before she even responds, just kind of like he was he expected this. And so eventually a representative of your house does come by and have a conversation with it. And it's kind of funny because it takes them a while to get there. However,
Yep.
however, when they get there, it's literally within 15, 20 minutes, you guys are released.
It's never this quick. It's never this quick. It's like he's walking out on the street like, usually I'm detained for 2 to 4 days.
They just like to waste your time.
I've come to know the quartermaster fairly well.
He's actually
Your
good at
house has its benefits.
he's good at dragon chess. He's really good at dragon chess. Yeah.
It's just best not to speak with them.
Okay, then.
Their job isn't to help you.
Well, walk and talk so we don't look suspicious.
Mhm.
Well, Luca was hiding under the balcony and then tried to sneak off into the city. So honestly, we could be looking for them anywhere if we even need to look for them.
As you guys are saying that, roll me an insight check, sadly with disadvantage, because you're trying to make assumptions of a character that you don't know. Very well.
Oh, with disadvantage. Sorry.
Not at all.
Hey! God's will it.
And so you guys have, I can toss you no hints of where it is that you think they might go, so it's up to you to make your decisions.
Just think of everything that you've seen our
House
characters
beneath.
do.
They're probably drinking at the closest place.
Wow.
Most
That's-
humans are.
Well, to be fair, in
And
our like
halflings.
3 non-combat interactions, we've been drinking together.
That's specifically why I said tavern. That's what I was hoping for.
Yep, I go to the nearest establishment.
Okay.
Assuming it's not super nice.
Of course. Your meta knowledge. I mean, of course. So you guys make your way over to the establishment and roll me a persuasion check to be able to find it very easily.
Sorry, I keep rolling the wrong shit.
Yes, you
It's
do.
very easy.
Oh.
Just a
Shut up.
button.
Shut up. There you go.
Okay, so you're able to find it rather easy of which establishment you're going to. It's literally you find out where 3 establishments are nearby, and you choose the seediest one. And coincidentally, that's the one where they are.
Oh, okay.
You ask around like, oh, do we have a friend that came here or whatever, and you are able to find out that that's where they are. Yes.
Do an ocular pat down type thing.
Eek.
Look around.
You can get your drunkest for cheapest here. So, what you gotta do?
So we walk in.
Okay, you guys do walk into the establishment, and you see them there.
I'm just gonna go and sit down.
Both of them have their drink on. I imagine Luca is moderately intoxicated because he drinks a lot, and Reich, who is a little bit more conservative, is just buzzing.
No, I'm not even buzzing. I took 2 sips out of whatever drink they gave me, and I didn't drink after that.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and not like say anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Odette, what do you do?
I'm just gonna sit down next to you guys and just what happened.
I'm just gonna look at both of you and just go like let out like a sigh of relief, just like over exasperated sigh of relief. I'm just like, guys, what happened?
A guard saw us trying to climb to a window, and he was concerned and did his job.
You tried to climb through the window?
No,
No, we were not going to do that.
no, we're not going to do that. But he saw us with a rope. So
He was a very
Yeah.
reasonable fellow, and everything was
You
it
guys
was much
aren't
faster
very-
than it should be.
You guys aren't very sneaky.
why would I be?
Why would you think that we would be sneaky?
I never thought you were.
Do I look sneak? This is not the first time that someone is assuming me to be a thief.
I
Okay,
never
like,
thought.
look-
I
look
never
away
said.
at that.
I never said you were a thief.
Stavro
Regardless.
gets up and goes to get a drink, and then like turns and like, oh, Dad, you want a wine, a fairly expensive wine, I assume.
No, I'm all set for now, thank you.
Gets a drink.
Where did he go? Where did Dane go?
Laptop it.
I say he went to the rail. He wanted us to go with him to leave you guys a message, but we weren't willing to leave you guys. We tried following him, but he gave us the slip down an alley.
I don't know the meaning of that phrase. What did he give you?
He got
That
away.
sounds unpleasant.
Not if you do it right.
Huh.
I say he disappeared. When he disappeared, he was obviously using some form of magic.
Yeah, magic. Yeah, that's what we said. Magic.
Odette, when does the lightning rail leave? Is there a regular schedule?
There are multiple trains coming in and out of Sharn. Sharn's one of the busiest cities for it. I couldn't possibly know unless I knew where he was going.
That being said, there are regularly scheduled ones, but there are also other ones as well, which is what you had just said. So,
Yeah.
so you don't know which one he's taking. Your answer is
Yeah.
correct.
Well, it is the entrance to Corvair, after all.
All right. Well, I think that if there's nothing else, I think we should head to the rail. At least try to see if we can meet him.
What?
Just
I mean,
because.
why do we need to meet him?
He
He
hasn't
knows
paid
us.
us.
And also,
Yeah, I
he
mean-
definitely knows more than he's letting on. those poor women are still very much in danger. There is a larger conspiracy going on.
I agree, but he wasn't willing to tell us. I think we need to go to some more reliable people and let them know what's going on before, so at least they're aware.
He wasn't willing to tell us
I agree.
because we hadn't had enough time with him.
We could honestly just forget about it.
I mean, yeah, we didn't have enough time with him, but before we said there was a guard there, he was still being a bit weird. He's always been a bit weird.
I have the perfect cure to that.
I just look at you, like not getting what you're meaning at all.
When you don't seem to understand, I point at my sword very openly. Just.
So you point at your sword. I mean, it's jagged, but.
He is a terrible artist, but he doesn't deserve to die.
Nor
if he wants to flee, he can flee if he's got a larger piece in whatever's going on.
I think my family was being framed, and I think they at least deserve to know that this was even happening before they get framed again.
Well, I feel pretty framed after what just happened. I'm not happy about it. I would like to report his actions higher up in my house, potentially. I think you're right, there is a larger conspiracy.
Your house knows.
My house knows?
Oh, I guess I wouldn't know that, right? Yeah, I wouldn't know that her house showed up to let her off. She didn't say that. So I won't say that. I'll just say...
I didn't have to explain much about the situation at the time.
Right, so I'll just say you were wronged. I get it. But my family doesn't even know they were wronged. At least you're aware. You can look over your shoulder. My family cannot.
Well, then we go and see his family, and then we go and see your family, and then if we have time, we go and see your family, right? And we have a lovely day of it, hopefully tomorrow. It's been a long day. I got shot. Mr. Denif blew up.
I'm still pretty messed up. I'm at just a little bit more than half health.
That sounds like a completely reasonable plan.
I'll nod and say, so perhaps we should just stay the night, leave in the morning. Should we be staying together, or do we plan to meet?
If you want protection, my kind need not sleep. I can stay in the room of one of yours and keep watch.
I look at you very strangely.
Yeah, you get a kind of weird look from, I assume, the three of us.
Super creepy.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
That was super creepy.
I'm putting the offer out there.
Well, Odette says, like, standing up from the table, I have no intention of staying here, so I will meet you back here tomorrow morning. Okay?
Yeah, I just nod and just let you, I'm not going to try to say anything to stop you.
Okay. So your characters just kind of retire for the evening with the intention of, let's say, meeting back up here at, I don't know, maybe noon the next day or whatever the case may be?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And the reason why I say noon is because you do want to speak to your own individual houses, make sure they're aware of things, do other stuff like that as well. So no big rushes or anything like that to meet up with one another. Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay.
And Odette would obviously look at the train schedule and see what she could find out there. Okay, so you guys get home, you spend your night, you all heal up, yay, and all that jazz. Everything's good to go. The next morning, you're kind of getting ready, going about your business, trying to inform your houses or whatever. Now, I imagine that all four of you, for your own reasons, would actually get copies of the Cornberg Chronicle. Cornberg Chronicle comes out of Cornberg, which is a... excuse me. Cornberg is the name of one of the largest cities of Zalargo, Zalargo being a predominantly gnomish nation, okay? Now, the Cornberg Chronicle comes out 3 times a week, so it's like more or less every other day. 3 times a week it comes out, giving you information of what is newest happening, okay? The reason why I know Odette would get one is because even though it's made by the gnomes, it's transported by the by House Orion. They do it because it's able to get places instantly. The reason why I know Luca would have it is because why wouldn't he? He's connected to a very powerful house. He would easily have one accessible to him in the morning when he went down to wherever he was eating. The reason why I assume Stallbor would have one is because, well, he's just an educated person and he likes to do reading, and I imagine he's trying to catch up on the hubbub. I bet he's the kind of person that reads Esquire. Just saying. He reads like you know, all the all that stuff. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's for
the tabloids. You read the tabloids.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say he reads the really bad articles that are like
the tabloids. And then the reason why I assume Reich does it is because Reich is actually of a rather notable lineage. more so than either Odette or Luca, is of a really notable lineage, but is kind of removed from this world, being outside of his country. So he likes to keep up on what's going on in this region while he's here, and it's easy for him to get his hands on one. That being said, all of you guys the next morning, late morning, early morning, whatever it is that you read it, are able to find in the paper that Dane de Leander is found dead. He's found dead only about 1,000 feet or so very clearly on his way towards, because why else would you be that close to, the lightning rail. He's found dead with his pockets emptied, his suitcase stolen. It doesn't say that. It's just more or less like he has been stripped of all possessions. And, obviously there's graphic detail of the mess that's found. It seems as though it was common thuggery that has taken him. It is the article continues to talk about the incredible performance he did the night beforehand, how it was an amazing performance, and that it was, and all this stuff happens. As a matter of fact, it's such a great ordeal that Dane de Leander died, that the fact that there was a huge combat that took place in a marketplace somewhere, that it literally is in like one of the backest areas of the paper, barely got any coverage. It's a small little article. Dane de Leander is dead. It's ridiculous.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I guess I wanna use this as conveying to my house that this is the guy who let me know the information. That there's obviously something fishy going on here.
Yes, that was very obvious in the beginning.
I would talk about it when we're all together.
So I love the fact. I love the fact that Luca doesn't realize it's his fault.
It's not my fault.
Like it was 100%. Like Reich probably realizes. Luca does not even realize that it's
he
it's
chose
his fault.
to go. That was his choice. He's of free will.
Yeah. I literally, like, as soon as I read this, I go down to the place where we intended to meet, and I'll just stay the rest of the day there. I have nothing else to do.
Spend hours.
Yep.
Well, then I would get there pretty unreasonably early too, and probably try to talk to Reich. Probably don't get very far, do I?
I answer everything I could possibly with one-word answers. If it requires more than one word, it is the most limited of a phrase without actually being unintelligible.
Like it starts off like, well, I would really like to try and find the morgue where they're keeping him, and yada yada yada. I was like, I'm know a thing or two about the dead. I'd be able to find out what happened to him. And then it gets like another hour. It's like, so where do you come from?
I'll respond.
What are the imports of the ancient Durhani? I've heard of them. It gets ridiculously mundane and irrelevant very quickly. Actually, very slowly, because we're just sitting here.
I'd respond to anything that you were talking about, Dane. I would, like, as soon as you walked in, I'd like slide the Cornborg Chronicle over to you, but then I'd realize that you're like holding one in your hand.
I'm holding one that's significantly, worse for wear because I live in the shittiest district. It got it was in a gutter. It's like there's blood on it, and it's like, it's not my blood.
He's like, ooh, the tabloids. And then he picks them up off of a corpse. I love that.
It does get delivered to my door. It's just...
Oh, Stalbor.
Over in England, what do you guys call the tabloids? Are they still called that?
There's a phrase, but I don't remember them because I don't read them.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, come on. That's, all right. So you guys are sitting there having your conversation that's somewhat awkward, somewhat fruitful, getting to know each other a little bit, and everything that had happened. And actually, why don't we take our first break right here? We'll take a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have Odette and Luca rolling me a D20 as we walk back in to see who is going to be able to walk into that group first. Actually, why don't you roll me the D20 now? What the hell? Roll me the D20 now so we know when we come back.
Let's do it now.
Do it.
It might just be Luca because Odette really is in a hurry. But I can roll if you want.
It's
Okay.
Luca anyway.
It's Luca anyway. All right.
Let's
there
be
we go.
real.
All right.
Awesome.
Super real.
See you guys in a couple minutes.
Bye.